Wonderful class on the last four verses of chapter 2. And I asked you all that we would be having a quiz today on chapter 2, specifically after verse 30. So I'm not sure whether you all have gone through the PPTs, whether you have gone through the purports or no. Sindhu Mataji, no?
No, Mataji.
Okay. So what do you all want? First, you want a revision of the chapter and then with the quiz, or first the quiz and then a short revision?
Mataji, first
Mataji,
revision.
revision, yeah.
First revision.
Okay. Okay. So I'm just doing this live stream. I don't know why this is taking some time. Probably now it's done. Is it showing something to you like
Yeah, Mataji, YouTube,
contents
yeah.
has been shown to
Yeah,
third party? Okay,
it is
perfect.
on live, Mataji.
Okay, then, yeah, fine. So, okay, let me quickly share my screen. So even I was too much in hectic schedules since last 2 3 weeks, and even I could not prepare the whole quiz in 72. But yes, most of the things are there. Quiz. Okay, so before sharing, I would first like to ask whether you all remember the 5 reasons that Arjun gave to not fight the war. Please raise your hands. We have discussed this many, many times. And this basically forms the basis of why Krishna started answering, right? Like Arjun asked questions, Arjun put forward his statements, and based on those statements, then Krishna started his answers, right? So the whole first chapter is first four questions of Arjun. Questions are basically statements of Arjuna, reasons. And then the fifth reason has been given in the second chapter, initial verses. So these 5 reasons are very important for us to understand what was the state of Arjun and why then Krishna started speaking Gita. Rajalakshmi Mataji, you raised hand. You want to try the 5 reasons?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, go ahead, Mataji.
First he was confused. Number one, confusion. Second, loss of enjoyment. Third, family destruction. Fourth, incursion. Fifth, confused.
Okay, yes, there are some they need to be properly arranged, Mataji. Anyone else?
Third one was incursion.
Mm-hmm. What is the first one then?
First one, loss of enjoyment.
That is second. What is the first? Sindhu Mataji?
Compassion, Mataji.
Yes, compassion is the first reason.
Yes,
Second
Mataji.
is
Yes, Mataji.
second is
Loss of enjoyment.
yes, enjoyment. Third is
Family,
Sinful reaction.
full reaction. Yes, right.
fourth
Fourth
is
is
family destruction.
Destruction of family.
tradition. And fifth is
Indecisiveness.
indecision. Yes, right, Chikisha Mataji. Indecisiveness or confusion. So these were the 5 reasons that Arjun stated in the first chapter, wherein he lost his composure, and Arjun, the great warrior who never used to keep his Gandiva bow down, he kept his Gandiv bow down and he started crying, saying, "Oh Keshava, I cannot fight." So this was the state of Arjuna. And when he stated these first 4 reasons in the second chapter, initially Krishna said, like he said, how can this impotence come upon you? Right? So Krishna used very harsh words for Arjuna for stating such reasons. And then again, Arjun stated this reason and said that now I am confused, I do not know my duty. Finally, Arjun understood that this is something which I cannot solve on my own and I need Krishna's help. And then comes the famous verse 2.7, wherein Arjun says, Shishyasteham
Karpanya
shakam prapanna.
Karpanya dosha.
So why that particular verse is important is now finally Arjun is surrendering to Krishna and accepting him as his guru. So once the conversation has now taken another side, initially there were two friends talking, and now Arjun has taken the role of the disciple of Krishna. So now Krishna takes the position of guru. And then finally from 2.11 onwards, Krishna starts speaking. So from 2.11 to 2.30 is the section when Krishna defeats the first argument of Arjuna. What was the first argument? Compassion. So compassion on whom? Compassion on the family members. How can I kill my own family members, right? So basically, that particular compassion is why it is happening, because of the concept of I and mine, me, my family, right? So to destroy this, Krishna gives the knowledge of body and soul. When we are identifying with our body, then is the time when we identify with the bodily relations also. So then, when Krishna gives this idea of you are not this body, you are the soul, and he gives the characteristics of the soul, then he defeats this argument of Arjun, saying that you are not wanting to kill Bhishma and Drona, let's say, but they are already old. They will get new bodies. They will get more enjoyment in the new body. So why are you not wanting to do that? So then Arjun would state another argument that, okay, but we are still attached to this body, right? And then Krishna says, Dehi nosmin yatha dehe, right? There are so many different ways Krishna tries to make Arjun understand that this is going to happen based on karma as well. Based on karma as well, they will lose their body after a particular time. And based on enjoyment aspect as well, they will get a new body, they will enjoy more, right? And then again, Arjun was confused that how can I kill? So Krishna says that most famous words, which is matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkada agama payino nityas tam titikshashva bharata, that you have to tolerate, Arjuna. Like if you are continuously saying that how can I do that, how can I do that, and Krishna gives you multiple reasons, finally Krishna says that you have to tolerate. There is no other option. That's the duality, you have to tolerate, right? So all these and then Krishna gives the characteristics of the soul. It is you cannot burn it, you cannot cut it, you
Krishna
cannot
says,
have so
"Dehi
many.
nosmin yatha dehe,"
Just a
right?
minute.
There are so many different ways Krishna tries to make Arjun understand that this is.
Yeah, sorry. So in that way, Krishna is giving the knowledge of the soul. After that, what happens is that like Krishna, because he is, just a second, I'll share my screen as well. Database. Let me know if you're able to see. Is it visible?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Yes, so this seems to be loading. So yeah, basically, somehow every class there is internet issue. Yeah. Yeah. So after giving this knowledge of body and soul from 2.11 to 2.30, then Krishna defeats the second and third argument of Arjuna, which is the second one is enjoyment, and the third is sinful reaction. So basically, what Arjun was saying is that like if I kill all of them, then how I would be able to enjoy, right? So basically, he's thinking that the result of the war would be the basis of his enjoyment. If he wins the war, then all his family members are lost, so he will not be able to enjoy. And if he dies, then of course he will not be able to enjoy. So all these arguments of Arjuna are defeated by Krishna in 31 to 38. And what Krishna tells here is he gives the basis of karma kand philosophy, wherein he says that as a kshatriya, if you are fighting for dharma, right? So as a kshatriya, you must fight, and if you win, you will get the whole world, right? The whole royal thing would be yours. So you are basically enjoying in that way. If you lose, basically a Kshatriya, when he dies in the battlefield, he would attain heaven. So basically, you would be enjoying much, much more than your human body in heaven. So basically, you are going to enjoy whether you win or whether you lose. So that was one point. Another point is on the sinful reaction. So if you are not doing your duty, so if a Kshatriya runs away from the duty of fighting the war for the right cause, he will incur more sin than if he does his duty, right? So that is also very important, wherein Krishna gives this, if you can see here, right? So if, however, you do not perform your religious duty of fighting, then you will certainly incur sins for neglecting your duty and lose your reputation as a fighter. So exactly opposite of what Arjun was thinking. He was thinking, if I kill my family members, I will incur sin. On the contrary, Krishna says that if you fight for the duty of fighting, then you will not incur sin, right? But if you do not do so, then you will also lose your reputation. And what to talk of a person, a Kshatriya losing his reputation, that is, dishonor is worse than death for him, right? So in that way, Krishna is trying to help him understand that your reasons are going on the wrong direction, right? And then comes the very important section of benefits of Buddhi Yoga. Buddhi Yoga is what Krishna is trying to now make him understand, that you have to do your duty and not get attached to the results. So the Nishkam Karma Yoga section comes after 38, right? From 39 to 53. So here what Krishna is trying to make him understand, that in this path of Bhakti Yoga, 40 and 41 are exactly on Bhakti Yoga. What they tell, that if there is a little advancement on this path, you will be protected from the most dangerous type of fear, right? And also, based on this, if you are doing your duty without any attachment to the results, you are resolute in the purpose, right? Your intelligence would be fixed. So in that way, Krishna is basically giving him benefits of what will happen. So in 42 to 43, he tells what will happen if you are not performing the activities as per Buddhi Yoga. So then what will happen? You will basically get attached to the flowery words of the Vedas. You will be wanting to elevate yourself to the heavenly planets, good birth and all. So therefore, you will not be able to perform Buddhi Yoga, right? And those who are basically attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, they will not have resolute determination. And after that, Krishna tells that first of all, you would have to come out of these three modes of material nature, right? So once you become transcendental to the three modes of material nature, then you would be able to get free from these dualities. Okay, so in all these verses that we see, Krishna is telling the benefits of Buddhi Yoga. Anyone remembers what is the difference between Nishkam Karma Yoga and Buddhi Yoga or Bhakti Yoga? It's almost very similar. It's very, very similar. Someone remembers any difference?
Hare Krishna. Mataji, it was like do your duty without the fruits. Just get rid of fruits.
Attaching the
Don't.
fruits, yes. That's the common theme in both of them, Nishkam Karma Yoga as well and Bhakti Yoga as well. There's one slight line difference, that is in Bhakti Yoga, you are doing it for the pleasure of Krishna. There also you are not attached to the result, wherein whether it is successful or unsuccessful. But the whole point is that you are doing it for the pleasure of Krishna. Okay, so that makes the main difference. Okay. And then let me go back to the slide. Yeah, this thing I'll tell you in a while. Yeah, so after from 40 to 46, this is what Krishna tells as the everlasting benefits of Nishkam Karma Yoga. And then how this particular path is basically satisfying. Bhakti Yoga is the one thing which satisfies everyone, right? And then from 47 to 49, 47 is that important words of Karmanyavadhikaraste, where Krishna is telling how we should be working, how we should not be getting attached to the results, and also the most important thing being that we should not think that it's not needed to work, right? The last line of the verse is that you should not be thinking that I should not be doing any work. Someone might say that, okay, if I am working, but I should not be attached to the results, I'm not the one who's the cause of the result, then why should I work? Anyhow, I will get the result. So for that, Krishna tells the fourth line wherein work without getting attached to not doing work. Right. So this very, very importantly applies to Arjuna. And then what should be our consciousness? In 48, Krishna is telling what should be our consciousness and our mood in executing this verse, which should be that we should be equipoised in success or failure. And then we should not be wanting to enjoy the fruits, because those who enjoy the fruits are misers. From 50 to 53 comes the benefits of Buddhi Yoga, which is you get freedom from good and bad reactions. You become free from the cycle of birth and death. You become indifferent to Vedic rituals. And then 53 is that you realize your eternal relationship with Krishna, which is you attain Samadhi. Now, once Krishna says Samadhi in 53, Arjun now wants to know how a person who has attained this consciousness, this samadhi, how then he asks four questions. What are the symptoms? How does he speak? How does he sit? How does he walk? So the main motives of these questions were to understand like how he's talking when things are going in favor of him or is not going in favor of him. Is he controlling his senses? How is he engaging his senses? So all these type of questions Arjun asked in 54. And from 55 to 72, Krishna gives the symptoms of Sthita Pragya, right? One who has attained a divine consciousness, or one who has understood the relationship of his with Krishna, right? So in that way, the last section is basically on the symptoms of the self-realized soul. So now, anyone has any questions?
Mataji, just to clarify, Buddhi Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, you said same, right? Only
Yes.
one difference is that Bhakti
No,
Yoga.
that actually, it's a
That
very
is Nishkam Karma Yoga, no?
Kam Karma Yoga and Bhakti
Bhakti
Yoga.
Yoga.
Both are done for the pleasure of Krishna. For Krishna.
No, Nishkam Karma Yoga is more like you are doing that activity, you are not attached to the activity, you are also not attached to the results, and you are dedicating your results, right? But the whole point is it's not for the pleasure of Krishna. A very small example for here would be like, for example, let's say if I want to eat methi matar malai, and I am preparing it because I want to eat it, but I'm also offering the result to Krishna as bhog, right? So that is basically part of Nishkam Karma Yoga. I'm not attached to the activity, or I'm not attached to the result. I'm offering also to Krishna. But the point of pleasure of Krishna, that is missing. For example, a person who really wants to cook for the pleasure of Krishna, he would think, okay, Krishna likes Karela, right? So I should have some Karela in the Bhoga Thali, right? Although I do not like Karela, but Krishna likes it. So let me prepare something which he likes along with Methi Matar Malai. Getting my point? So there is, I told you, right? There is a very slight line difference between Nishkam Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. They are almost same. Another example could be when we are earning and I give some portion of my money to Krishna's service. So that particular point, you are also attached to the result of getting money, but you are dedicating some portion of it for Krishna because you think that it is important. So that is part of Sakam Karma Yoga, which comes inside Nishkam Karma Yoga, right? So somewhere there is a very slight difference between attachment to the result and pleasure of Krishna, right? So let's not go into the very depth of it. Just understand that the whole goal is that we have to do it for the pleasure of Krishna. Whatever activity we are doing, whatever work we are doing, whatever result I may get. So we discussed in the class when we were discussing this point, we discussed that even if the result is unfavorable for me, still a devotee would be happy thinking that because this is pleasure giving to Krishna, this is favorable. This condition is favorable, although it seems to be unfavorable. Right? So, like for example, there is a Mataji, she was Prabhupada disciple. Her name is Aladini Mataji. So she was actually preaching in the African countries wherein there was a revolution going on at that point of time. So at that point of time, there were some gangs and they were going against the government and they were actually ruling the whole thing and they were shooting people and they were whoever they thought that this is the enemy, they will shoot them off. So this what happened that this gang they started attacking devotees. Now Ladini Mataji, this was totally an unfavorable situation, right? Now in such an unfavorable situation, what she thought that no, you cannot harm the devotees. That should not be done at any cost. So she went in front of that gang and she said that you have to kill me before going to these devotees. And at that point of time, they actually killed her. They shoot at her and she lost her life. But at this point of time, you would think that, okay, this was such an unfavorable situation, right? What she was doing for Krishna's pleasure, right? So she was having that consciousness in that moment also that I want to save the devotees. The devotees of Krishna are very important. So that consciousness was maintained by Krishna, and she was in such an unfavorable situation also. She was favored by Krishna. How? By having that consciousness that devotees are important and even sacrificing life for devotee is nothing, right? So in any unfavorable situation, a devotee is always devoted to Krishna and he thinks that this is Krishna's mercy because he can remember Krishna. He has that consciousness. So this is the whole point of Bhakti Yoga. When we start practicing Nishkam Karma Yoga gradually, we also reach Bhakti Yoga and we start doing everything for only Krishna's pleasure and not for our pleasure. Okay, Mataji? Yeah. So, chapter 2, if someone wants to, because chapter 2 is very important, it is titled as Contents of Gita Summarized. So, the whole of Gita in content seed form is given in chapter 2. So, chapter 2, if anyone wants to remember, then GITA. This is an acronym given by His Holiness Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Swami Maharaj, wherein G is Guru. The first 10 verses where Arjun confirms that he is confused and he submits to Krishna to accept the position of Guru. So the first 10 verses are on that. The second is on the identity of the soul, where 2.11 to 30, wherein Krishna gives the characteristics of the soul and our real identity as a servant of Krishna. Then T, the third is two duties. So if anyone remembers, there are two duties, Swadharma. One is on the bodily platform and another on the spiritual platform. So on the bodily platform, how we should perform our duty, which is 2.31 to 38, just now we discussed, which is on the Karma Kanda section, that you must perform your duty irrespective of like whether you are wanting the result or not, right? And 39 to 53 is the Nishkam Karma Yoga, which is basically as part of Swadharma, which is on the spiritual side, spiritual duty. So the material duty and the spiritual duty are the two duties which are covered from 31 to 53. And the last section, just now we discussed, wherein Arjun asked the symptoms of a self-realized soul. So the self-realized soul is also called as Atmaram. So last acronym A, Gita. So if you remember this Gita, you will remember the whole of chapter 2. Okay. So I guess this was a quick revision. I did not want to go into a lot of details because then we will not have time for the quiz. So is everyone ready for quiz? If I would request if everyone can come on video, I would come to know whether I should be asking you the answer or not. So if possible, please everyone come on video. Yes, thank you, Matajis. Okay, so let me quickly navigate to that slide. Okay. Yes, so the first question is, name the 4 types of varnas and ashramas. Raise your hands, please. You can also raise your hand and like this if you are on video. Yes, Sindhu Mataji first. Sudha Mataji second. Yes, Sindhu Mataji.
Mataji, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudras, 4 divisions, Varnas. Ashramas,
Brahmacharya.
Grihastha ashrama, Sannyas ashrama, then
Mataji, Brahmacharya.
Brahmachari ashrama,
Brahmachari, Grahastha,
Vanaprastha.
Anaprastha, Sannyas.
Sannyasa, 4 ashramas.
Right. So Raj Lakshmi Mataji, Nandini Mataji, and Sindhu Mataji. But you should not speak in between. You should raise your hands. Yes.
Sorry,
So
Mataji.
so no problem. Right answer. 4 varnas are these: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, and 4 ashramas are Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasi, based on 2.31 per put. So now, second is, how is killing Bhishma and Drona beneficial for them? They will attain heavenly planets. They will lose their old bodies and attain new one. Arjun will incur sins in killing them, but they will not. And both A and B. So please raise your hands. Shruti Mataji. Yes, Shruti Mataji.
Both A and B.
Yes.
D.
And would you like to explain the reason?
So
Like the third one, basically you have to reject. Arjun will incur sins in killing them, but they will not. So how is this wrong?
because he has to do his duty, and since Bhishma and Drona were not on side of the right, so they were supporting the wrong side, and that's why it was important for them to I mean, Krishna wanted to give the lesson to everyone that if you're not on side of dharma, it is not possible to win the war.
Right. Also, this killing of them is also beneficial because anyhow they will attain heavenly planets and they will also get a new body, right? So the first two are in support of it, and the third one, as you mentioned, that it is his duty, so he will not incur sins in doing his duty. So right, that is option D, both A and B, which is from 2.32. Nice, thank you, Madaji. Next question: how by not fighting the war Arjun would be affected? Being a Kshatriya, fighting is his duty, as performing sacrifice is the duty of Brahmana. By not fighting, he would be neglecting his duties and incur sinful reactions. By not fighting, he would lose his reputation as great warrior. Nandini Mataji has raised her hand first. Yes,
All
Mataji.
the 3, Mataji.
All the three, right? Right.
Yeah.
Yes, so the option is all three, which is from 2.33. Okay, next question. The great generals who have highly esteemed your name and fame will think that you have left the battlefield out of what? Compassion, love, greed, or fear?
Here.
Yes. Yes, Saurabh Prabhuji?
Mataji, D, fear.
Yes. Yes, out of fear only, they will think, they will not glorify you that, okay, you have left the battlefield out of compassion, but they will they will use very wrong words for you and they will say that you have left the battlefield only out of fear. Right? This is what Krishna told in 2.35. Next question. Even if Arjun identifies with his body as a Kshatriya body, then also, how by fighting he would enjoy? If he wins, he would enjoy the earth. If he dies, he would go to heaven. Both A and B, or none of these. So, Kripamai Mataji, Sudha Mataji, Mataji, I guess raised.
Mataji, both A and B, Mataji.
Yes, both A and B. Sudha Mataji, same.
Yes, Mataji, both A and B.
Right. Okay, so that's the right answer. That he would be winning the earth, so he'll enjoy earth, and if he dies, he would go to heaven. That is from 2.37. So now the questions would be a bit tougher. Okay, after this question. Final judgment of the Lord for Arjun was to withdraw from the battlefield, die in the battlefield, mislead the battle, or none of the above.
Can I, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Die in the battlefield.
Die. Yes.
B.
Right.
Die in the bed.
So in one of the verses, Krishna directly told that it is good that you die instead of using
Yeah.
my fame, right? So from 2.37, this comes in. Okay. As per Bhagavad Gita 2.40, if someone is performing work in Krishna consciousness, then there is no loss by incomplete performance and there is no sin by imperfect performance, true or false. So let
True.
me see
True.
some. Just
True,
no,
Mataji.
you have to wait. So let me try some new people. Jigisha Mataji.
Yeah, Mataji, it is true.
True. So you're saying that if there is some performance, some activity that we were doing as part of devotional service, but it was not completed, or it was imperfectly done, so then also there is no loss?
There is no loss because it will continue in your next life also.
Yes, right, exactly. So which is this important word, Sneha Bhikramanashosti Pratyavayona Vidyate Swalpam Apyasya Dharmasya Trayate Mahatopayat. Right? So work begun in Krishna consciousness has permanent effect. Right, you mentioned Mataji. Okay, so next one. The resolute purpose of a person in Krishna consciousness is based on knowledge. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. What is the analogy given in the purport to support the statement? Taking medicines with rules and regulations, watering the root of the tree, samadhi and material sense enjoyment, and none of these. Just a second, let me see the hands. Sudha Mataji has raised hand. Okay. Others, you want to take more time in understanding the question?
Yes, Mataji. Please.
Please read it, Mataji, no problem. Okay, 3 hands are up. I'm waiting for Raj Lakshmi Mataji. Okay, nice. Okay, Sudha Mataji. Yes, your answer.
Mataji, watering the root of the tree.
Watering the root of the. Would you like to explain this? How it happens?
Yeah, just like when we water the root of the tree, the tree get the food, the tree, all the branches and everything gets this thing. Similarly, if we pray to Krishna, and there's no need of going to the demigods and asking for any this thing. It is everything we'll get from the Lord only. Like there, no need of going to the demigods to ask any favor, Mataji. He will only
Right,
give
right.
us
So
everything.
Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma
So
Sudurlabha. Specifically, this is mentioned so that we have to understand that, okay, for everything, the cause is Vasudeva, Krishna. And based on this resolute purpose, then we are not required to do anything else. Rightly, you mentioned, Mataji. 2.41. Option B is the right answer. Okay, next one. Samadhi means Nishkam karma, material sense enjoyment, fixed mind, none of the above. This is as per purport. Okay, I see Kripamai Mataji has raised her hand first. Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, it is Nishkam Karma, Mataji.
Samadhi means Nishkam karma, you're saying. How, Mataji?
Nishkam Karma means without expecting anything,
Mhm.
doing without expecting any benefits you are doing, no? That I thought,
But then
Mataji.
how are you in Samadhi?
It is not then none of the above, Mataji. Sorry.
Okay. Anyone
None
else
of
would
the-
like? I see Sindhu Mataji has raised hand second.
Mataji, yes, Mataji. Answer is C, fixed mind. Samadhi
Fixed mind.
means fixed mind. When the mind is fixed for understanding self, it is said to be in Samadhi.
Yes. So Samadhi is basically, many times Krishna has used this word we have discussed during the classes, samadhau na vidhiyate, right? Many times Krishna has used this word Samadhi, which means that he has transcendental consciousness, which is based on fixed mind. So
Fixed
option C, when the mind is fixed for understanding the self, it is said to be in Samadhi as per 2.44 purport. Okay. So Kripamai Mataji, you understood how it is
Yes,
fixed mind?
Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Understood, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, next question. Okay, someone would like to read because of the above bar, I'm not able to read it. Yes, now I can read it. In the minds of those who are too attached to dash and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. So, what are the two words used by Krishna in this verse? Sense enjoyment and material opulence, devotional service and Guru, impersonalism and Brahman, good deeds and bad deeds. So it's a big question. I will wait for a second.
The means of those who are attached to.
Acha, one more thing I will add. Whoever answers, he would have to also give the reference of the verse and those two words. Sanskrit two words. You can find out in Gita, no problem. Okay, no new hands. I'm not sure whether whoever is not on video are you all participating in the quiz or not. If possible, you please come on video. We would like to have your darshans as well. Thank you, Nisha Mataji. Nisha Mataji, would you like to try?
Yeah, I know the answer, but I cannot explain it or like I don't remember the shloka.
No problem, please try.
Yeah, the answer is A.
Sense enjoyment and material opulence.
Yes.
So, in the minds of those who are attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, then they are not getting the resolute determination for devotional service. So, that is right. Now, anyone else who would like to give the rest of the answer? What is the words and what are
The text is
Kama.
244, Mataji. 244, that.
Mataji, shloka is Vyavasayatmika
Sense
Buddhi.
enjoyment is
Bhogeshwarya
equivalent to Sanskrit word is Kama.
Just a second, one person. Okay, Saurabh Prabhuji, you tell.
Mataji, 2.45 it is given.
What are the two words which are used in Sanskrit?
Mataji, Bhogeshwarya Prakas.
Right.
Chetana. Vyavasayatmaya Buddhi. Samadhav na vidyate.
Bhogeshwarya Prashaktanam Taya Chetasam Vyavasaya.
44, Mataji. Bhogeshwarya Prakastan Sanam Taya Chetana.
One who is too much attached to the enjoyments and one who is too much attached to the material opulence, Aishwarya. Those people do not get resolute determination. Okay. Next question. 42 to 43. 18 Puranas are there which are divided in three categories: goodness, passion, and ignorance. Why are they divided? This is the only way to attain Krishna consciousness. B. Vedvyas wanted the living entities to be bewildered. C. To slowly elevate the consciousness of those people. And D. None of these. Do not answer. Wait for me to call out your name. Please read the question again, not a problem. Okay, Rajalakshmi Mataji, you raised first.
See, Mataji, to slowly elevate the consciousness of the people.
Right. And why is that so? Why do they want to elevate the consciousness of all the people, goodness, passion, and ignorance?
Can't explain, Mataji. I know
Okay,
that.
Mataji, would you like to explain?
Krishna, did you tell my name?
Yes, Mataji. Would you like to explain how is it that Rajalakshmi Mataji mentioned option C? Okay, is this your answer as well, option C?
Yeah. The answer is C, because the people are actually in passion and ignorance, and they cannot be directly converted to goodness. So slowly the Vedas have been divided. So whatever position they are into, and then they will do bhakti in that particular mode, and then they will try to elevate themselves. Yeah, move ahead.
Thank you, Mataji. So that's the right answer. Basically, scriptures are meant to attract everyone. And in everyone, all types of people will come: karmis, jnanis, dhyanis, bhaktas, everyone. So they can be in goodness, passion, or ignorance. So based on whichever level we are, the Lord is so merciful that He gives the Puranas in these different categories. Okay. Now
Like
next
those
question.
grades, KG1, KG2, grade 2, grade
Right,
3, like that. So basically, they are divided
right.
depending
Thank
upon their consciousness.
Right. Okay, so next question. All material activities involve what? Elevation to transcendental plane, good and bad reactions, fixed mind, none of the above. Okay, let me see who all has raised hand. Rajlakshmi Mataji, Shruti Mataji, Sudha Mataji. Okay, Jivishna Mataji. Uma Devi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, good and bad reactions.
Good and bad reactions. Why do you think material activities will not elevate us to transcendental plane?
I don't think so, Mataji.
Yes, right.
Because if we go to a spiritual way, we can only in material world we can.
Yes, material activities will not elevate us to any
Yes,
transcendental.
Mataji. Yes.
Only spiritual activities can.
Yes.
And you're right that material activities will involve only good and bad
Bad
reactions.
reactions.
Will give us good reactions or bad reactions, which is as per 2.45 per part.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, now next question. Buddhi yoga means what? Success in the work, resultant actions, consciousness, hard labor, transcendental loving service to the Lord. Okay, now new people. Someone who has not answered before. Okay, is Geeta Mataji there?
Yes, Mataji, I'm here.
Would you like to try?
Transcendental loving service to the Lord.
Yes, right. That's right answer. Because Buddhi Yoga is basically Bhakti Yoga, wherein we are doing any service only for the pleasure of the Lord. So, and it is transcendental as well. So it's from,
Mataji, it includes intelligence also there?
yes, that is why it is Buddhi.
Okay,
Yes.
fine.
Option D, 2.49 per part. Okay, next is for Arjun, not participating in the battle is another side of attachment, true or false?
May I, Mataji?
Wait, Mataji.
Okay, okay.
Shruti Mataji. Shruti Mataji, would you like to try?
It's true.
And how? Can you explain?
Because Arjuna felt that how can he fight with his own relatives and elders and teachers, and that's why he didn't want to fight against his own family members out of compassion
But
reasons.
he was ready to renounce everything and go to forest, right? So
Yes.
in that way, he was detached. What do you think?
But this is
Attached
other
to
side.
relatives.
But one of the side of attachment was this, and
So was he correct in his thinking that it is better to renounce?
no,
He was a Kshatriya.
because he was not. That was not a duty of a Kshatriya to renounce.
So the reason why I'm asking you cross questions is I want to understand whether you have understood the concept, and you have understood. So that's right, Arjun, when he's saying that it is better to renounce everything. So then that is basically another side of attachment. He's having attachment to his family members, and therefore he's not wanting to do his duty. Right. And this is what Krishna tells in the last line of 2.47, that don't be attached for not doing your duty. Mate sangosta akarmani. So this is very important. Then what are the results of performing devotional service? Indifference to Vedic rituals, freedom from sinful reactions, birth and death, remains fixed in the trance of self-realization, all of the above. Please raise your hands. Okay, Saurabh Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you're on mute.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, I wonder, 1 minute.
Okay, your hand was raised. Sindhu Mataji, your hand was raised long back.
Yes, Mataji. Mataji, answer is B, freedom from sinful reactions, birth and death, I feel.
And what about indifference to Vedic rituals?
Indifference to Vedic rituals.
Okay. And okay, let me ask Uma Mataji, Uma Devi
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna Mataji, I think remains fixed in trance of self-realization. When we go on doing devotional service, I think it results like that. No, I didn't understand what is this indifference to Vedic rituals.
Mataji, I can answer now.
Rituals are not doing Vedic rituals. That I wanted to know, Mataji.
So indifference to Vedic rituals, you remember that particular verse when Krishna says that they are not attached to the flowery language of the Vedas, right? So basically,
Okay.
we are not wanting, when we are performing devotional service, we are not wanting to elevate ourselves to heavenly planets or to the higher realms for more enjoyment, right? So we become indifferent to the Vedic rituals.
Okay, okay, fine.
Right? So
Then the
that
answer is all of the above.
all of the above, right? The
Oh.
second is freedom from sinful reactions, birth and death. So by
Yes,
default,
Mataji, that will also be there.
performing devotional service, it will definitely
Yes.
free us from any sinful reactions, and consequent birth and death cycles will also be removed. Also, we will become fixed in the trance of self-realization. That is what we call as samadhi, right? So becoming fixed in this trance, that is also the result of performing devotional service. So the answer is all of the above, which is from 2.50 to 52. So from 50 to 52, if you go to those verses, you will see how Krishna is giving all these benefits. A man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad reactions, and even in this life. Therefore, strive for yoga, which is art of all work. By engaging in devotional service, great sages or devotees free themselves from the results of work in material world. In this way, they become free from cycle of birth and death and attain state beyond all miseries.
Yes.
And 52, when your intelligence has passed out of the dense forest of delusion, you shall become indifferent to all that has been heard and all that is to be heard. Right? So, in that way, this is all the results of performing devotional service. So, moving ahead.
Answer is all the above, Mataji.
Yes,
Yes.
Mataji. All the
Okay.
above. Okay. Now, which among below is the definition of yoga? Work being equipoised both in success and failure, to concentrate the mind on Supreme by controlling the ever disturbing senses. Following of Krishna's dictation is real yoga, or all of the above. Saurabh Prabhuji has
Mataji.
first.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, B.
D, all of the above.
Yes.
B. To concentrate the mind on the Supreme By.
Okay. Not the one wherein you are working equipoised in both success and failure?
That too, Mataji. True. All of the above only.
All of the above, Mataji.
All of the above, Mataji.
Oh.
Okay, yes. So the
All
Mataji,
of them.
Uma Mataji also confirmed. Right. So that's the right answer. All of the above.
All of the above.
Because, and this you can see in 2.48. Right. So Krishna is telling that you should work, you should be equipoised in success and failure. This is what is the basis of Nishkam Karma Yoga, right? You are not attached, means you are happy, you are equipoised basically in success or failure. Whether it becomes a failure also, then also you are happy, because it is the endeavor which counts in devotional service, right? Let's say if Guru Maharaj gave you an order and you are involved in a particular project. Now you are working day and night, but the result is not coming. The project is not actually getting success till now. But from your side, you have properly applied your intelligence, you have properly applied your senses, and you are having proper strategies to make it happen. Then also, if it is not happening, still it is not a failure. It's a failure in the material terms, but in spiritual terms, it's not a failure. And you are working being equipoised, you are not attached to the failure, so you are fine. You are still endeavoring. You have not stopped endeavoring now that, oh, why Krishna is not making this happen? I will not work only. No, so that's not our point. So this is also yoga. The second is we are concentrating our mind on the supreme by controlling the disturbing senses, ever disturbing senses. So that is also yoga. And then following of Krishna's dictation is the real yoga, right? So if Krishna says that this is day, it's not night, even if it is night, then it is right, because Krishna is the one who is the actual controller. So we see that happening in Mahabharata, right? So he could set the sun before its time, and he did so many other things which are morally, if we say materially, morally incorrect, but still because Krishna did it, it is the right, it is the most correct, it is most moral, because morality comes from the Lord. So if the Lord is saying this, then that is morally right. Right? So this is the real yoga. All of the above is the right answer.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Lord says in all the chapters and all the verses, mostly we have to overcome all the dualities.
Yes, Mataji.
Dukkha, Sukha, Dukkha, Shita, Ushna. So that's what we are in the first one now, Mataji, success and failure.
Yes, but the second also is equal. Like the first is also right, the second is right, and third is right.
All the three are right.
All the three are right. So it's not just that, okay, one is right. Of course.
No, that's what. In each and every chapter, he says, you overcome all the dualities. Don't think of Shita or Ushna.
But
Both
then
are,
he's
you take
also
as.
saying that you concentrate the mind, right?
Yes. Okay, Mataji. Thank you.
Okay. Now for Arjun, this question is repeated.
Yes, it is repeated.
The second. Yes, this is also repeated. Yeah, my mistake. Okay, so now all these are questions. I have not added the answers here. So the first one is, what are the symptoms of one who is in pure transcendental consciousness? He gives up all kinds of sense desire arising from mental concoction. He takes pleasure in himself by realizing himself as the eternal servitor of the Lord. He remains happy in eternally serving the Lord, or all of the above.
Hare Krishna Mataji, again it is all of the above.
All of the above, Mataji.
What are the symptoms of whose symptoms of person who is Sthita Pragya? Right? Second, why a sage of steady mind, not at all disturbed by the onslaughts of the threefold miseries? Because he can agitate his mind in various ways, because he accepts all miseries as the mercy of the Lord, because he is detached, none of the above.
Because he accepts all miseries as the mercy of the Lord, Mataji.
What about because he's detached?
Because he's detached, Mataji.
Okay. So let's say if a person has got a lot of failure, but he's detached to the failure, will he be called of steady mind? Like, will he not get disturbed by these miseries? What is the basis of him being detached? That is more important.
He accepts all miseries in
He
as the
accepts everything,
mercy of God.
Mataji, as the mercy of the Lord. That's why.
So that's what. It's the option B. Because he accepts everything as the mercy of the Lord, then he is able to control his mind, then he is detached to the results. Everything is a byproduct of the first thing, that he's considering everything as the mercy of the Lord.
It should be all of the above, no, Mataji. They are given none of this.
We don't have that option, Mataji. It's
Yes,
none of
that's not there. None of this. It should be all of the above.
No, Mataji. Because he can agitate his mind in various ways is not something which is not lead him to not getting disturbed, right? Steady mind will not come because he has got some siddhis and he can now agitate his mind in various ways. The first is basically not correct because it is talking about agitating his mind. And the answer, the question is of the stage of steady mind, right? A sage of steady mind, basically he will not even agitate his mind, right? So the first is not applicable. And as I told you, the third is right in a way, but it is a byproduct of second. So basically second is the right answer. That is the fundamental basis of why he is not disturbed. Okay, Mataji? Okay, Haribol. Next question. According to 2.58, which among the following sets the example of keeping the senses always in the service of the Lord? Serpent, tortoise, peacock, frog.
Serpent.
Jikisha
Mataji,
Mataji.
tortoise, Mataji.
Okay.
Tortoise.
Tortoise, Mataji.
Yes, so
Tortoise.
that
Tortoise got victims in the shell. One who's unable to withdraw senses from sense objects.
yes. So what is the
Okay.
example? Like how does tortoise do that?
It takes all parts inside, Mataji.
He
Yes.
takes all his limbs
It
inside
When
his
he
takes
feels
shell.
there
It
is a
withdraws all the.
Tortoise can at
it,
any moment wind up its senses and exhibit them again at any time.
right, right. He
and
can
wherever it
move
wants.
the body parts inside the shell. So it's just the shell.
Wind up
Which,
to exhibit them
He,
again at any
he
time.
draws his limbs.
Yeah.
so exactly this is the example which is given by Krishna in 2.58. Okay, next one. Due to
Hare
dash.
Krishna Mataji, 1 minute. This tortoise is kept in front of all the deities in all the temples, I think, Mataji, for this reason only.
Yes, so this we
Yes.
discussed in the class as well. That if you actually see the traditional Indian temples, the tortoise, there are two tortoises. Outside the temple, he has all the limbs inside, and
Yes.
inside the temple, all the limbs are outside, which
Okay.
signify that when we are in the material world dealing with material people, we should have control all our senses, just like a
Yes.
tortoise is doing. And the tortoise which is inside, he has all the limbs outside, which means that in the service of the Lord, we should engage all our senses.
Yes, thank you, Mataji.
And one more additional question I will ask you all here, that there is another example given of a person who has engaged all his senses in the service of the Lord. So whose example is given that we have discussed also in the class?
Ambarish.
Ambarish Maharaj. Very nice.
Maharaj.
Mataji remembers so many things. Haribol. Okay. So now next question. Due to what many learned sages fall victim to material sense enjoyment? Consciousness, hunger, discrimination, agitated mind.
Agitated mind.
Agitated mind.
Yes. Someone remembers the verse where it was discussed? Any idea on the not no, if you do not remember the verse exactly the verse.
Mataji, is it Buddhi Nashat Pranashyati? Something comes.
Exactly. So
Yes.
there two verses. There were two verses which tell the fall down stages. This 8 stages of fall down of a devotee. Right? And anyone remembers how it starts? The first thing, what happens first, and then all the other things happen.
Mataji, krodhat bhavati
Before
sammoha.
that,
That one?
before Krodha.
Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha.
Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha. Yes.
Sangaseshu Padayate. Sanga Sanjayate Kamaha. Kamat Krodho Bijayate.
Right. So the first thing, that is the contemplation of the sense objects.
Yes.
So if we contemplate on the sense objects, then comes all the other things. Right? So this is that particular verse. And then it actually leads to fall down of even a steady mind sage. His mind will also get agitated. Now someone remembers we discussed two sages who who fell down because of this.
Vishwamitra Muni and the water, I mean, under the sea.
Shaubari Muni.
Fishes.
Shaubari.
And one more, sorry, three sages we discussed. One more.
Ajamila.
Ajamil is not a sage. No, in that way.
Vasamuni, Mataji.
Sorry?
He gets angry, no? Durvasa Muni.
Yes, Durvas Muni, right.
Durvas.
Vishwamitra Muni, Vishwamitra Muni, Saubari Muni, and Durvasa Muni. The three examples we discussed on how on contemplation of sense objects, the fall down happened, right? Okay, now the next question. By contemplating what one develops attachment, then lust.
That Mataji, that due to what, Mataji? Agitated mind or what, Mataji? That?
Yes, the answer is agitated mind, Mataji.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Now the next question. By contemplating the dash, one develops attachment, then lust, anger, delusion, bewilderment of dash and dash is lost. Then one falls down. So it's basically the next question of the same verse. What is the option? Please raise your hands. Okay, I want some new hands.
Objects of the senses controlled.
Okay, I also see Hema Malini Mataji, Dinesh Prabhu, Pramila Mataji, Archana Mataji. Any one of you would like to try? Rakesh Prabhu.
D, Mataji.
No. Hema Mataji is saying D, impersonal form, absolute and conscious. You're saying by contemplating the impersonal form, one develops attachment. Let's discuss the first blank first. What by contemplating? Okay, next, okay, let me see who else can try. Uma Devi Mataji, would you like to try?
Yes, Mataji, it is B, objects of the senses, memory, intelligence. By contemplating the
objects of the senses, right?
Yes.
That is objects of the
then
senses.
develops
Attachment.
attachment, then lust, anger,
Anger,
delusion, bewilderment
Bewilder
of
of memory.
memory and intelligence is
Intelligence
lost.
is lost.
Then one
Then
falls down.
Right. So the
Correct,
option
Mataji?
B.
answer is option B.
B.
Right. Option B is the right answer. Yes,
ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದು
Uma.
ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೆಟ್ಟೋಗಿದೆ.
Okay, so it makes us come to the end of the quiz. I wanted to have more questions, but because of short of time, I could not add more and more questions. But yeah, we have also reached a time as well. So anyone having any questions on chapter 2, any point which you could not understand or you need more discussion? Okay, so Haribo.
Mataji, that five reasons,
next,
Arjuna, can you just repeat, Mataji? Compassion, loss of enjoyment, indecisiveness.
So third is sinful reaction.
Okay, sinful reactions, and fourth is
Loss of family trait.
Destruction of family
traditions
and indecisiveness.
Right. So this we have if you remember initially, almost in every PPT, the second slide used to be this, Arjuna's reasons. So specifically, I've given that in most of the slides is because we should remember this, right? And if also you can remember in which verses Krishna is defeating those arguments. So, right, compassion from 2.11 to 30. Then the second one, enjoyment, enjoyment as well as sinful reaction, he is destroying it from 2.31 to 38, right? And then the next, destruction of family tradition and indecisiveness, Krishna will defeat in upcoming chapter 3. Okay, so this is how chapter 2 has been. It took a lot of time, but it was very important. Each and every words that we have seen, it's in a lot of details with lot of analogies, right? And lot of explanations. So you all should go through the PPTs as well as the purports. And if there are any more questions, you can definitely come with those questions in the next class. We'll discuss them first and then we'll start chapter 3. We'll also see what is the connection between chapter 2 and 3, right? So I thank you all very much. Thank you for participating actively in the quiz. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve you all. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavyo Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai. Jagat
Mataji, the PPT is shared, Mataji. PPT is shared.
Sorry, Mataji. PPT, I will share it, Mataji, in the group now.
Not about the questions, Mataji, about the summary of
Do you have the
summary
previous
of
PPT, Mataji?
summary of chapter 2, Mataji. Summary like that. Chapter 2.
Okay.
That's
So
important.
summary of chapter 2 is not shared yet. It's not created basically. We have shared previous as in, let's say, for example, if I covered 2.47 to 49. So then I share the PPT of 47 to 49 in that way. So all those multiple PPTs are there. You can see them all and you can go through them, revise the whole chapter 2, and you would be able to understand the flow also.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna,
Mataji,
Mataji.
could you post the quiz, today's quiz in the group?
Yes, I will be posting, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Winner is Rajalakshmi Mataji, isn't it, Mataji?
Sorry, Mataji.
Winner is Rajalakshmi Mataji. Hari Bol. So Rajalakshmi Mataji, she has almost answered all the questions.
Very good. Yes.
Very good.
Yes, Hari bol
And
to
actually,
Mataji.
actually, Haribol to all the participants who were raising
No,
hands.
it's okay.
Yes,
Even then, at this
Mataji.
age,
I could see Sindhu Mataji, Sudha Mataji, Shruti Mataji, Kripamai Mataji, so many of you. Nandini Mataji, all of you, Jikisha Mataji, Saurabh Prabhuji, all of you were raising continuously hands. I could feel that, okay, you all have understood. I was happy.
Mataji, next week too we will have the rest
No,
of the
it's not.
things.